Five, four, three, two, one. So it is Wednesday night for us, Thursday morning for you guys. Sharon was tired, and she just went straight to laying down as soon as we got home. As you guys know, usually Wednesday night is a very short devotional for us because of the Wednesday Bible study. We stayed a little longer than normal because we're leaving to Phoenix on Friday. So I'm going to preach at the Phoenix House of Rest house church on Sunday. So I had to make sure that everything for Sunday service is set for Pastor Al to preach. So that included building the PowerPoint, building the OBS. OBS is the software that you guys see online. Getting all the songs ready, and just everything that has to be ready for Sunday service. We're not going to be there. And I was there with Benjamin, just kind of setting things up, getting things right, because I'm not going to the church again between now and leaving to Phoenix. So, it kind of wore out Sharon. So we got home and she went straight to laying down. Her spine was hurting a little bit. As you guys know, we're past the COVID stuff for the most part. But you remember, this whole thing started with her spine and her kind of going paralyzed. So she wasn't feeling too great, and she's like, I'm just going to straight lay down. Please tell everybody hi from me. So hi from her. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy the Wednesday Bible study. We're in Titus part 2. Really deep, man. It's kind of forcing me to be very straightforward because the book of Titus is very straightforward, and that's a good thing. That's not such a bad thing. And that's why I like doing Bible studies by reading through a book rather than topical Bible studies. Same thing with ways of preaching. There's different ways of preaching. I'm just talking, guys. I'm just sharing. But if you ever notice, and once you realize this, you can't unsee it or unhear it. Nothing wrong with it. But most people, when you hear preachers, it's expositive. It is, oh my God, I don't know why I brought this up because now I'm going to go blank. Narrative, topical, and most sermons are one of those three or a mixture of them. Expository is literally you get a passage and you just unpack that whole thing. That's kind of the way we do our Bible study. It's very expositive. Narrative is very story-like, which I do a lot of. Honestly, probably my style of preaching is probably expository / narrative. And the third one, what did I say the third one was? The third one is topical. That's probably the one I least do. Topical is when you pick a topic and then you cherry pick verses that have to do with that topic. Bible study too. People do topical Bible studies, and I don't know why. For some reason, a lot of people begin there. But that's actually, to me, oh man, I'm giving opinion, but to me, that's the least foundation building. I'll give you a reason why. Because let's say I do a topic Bible study on faith. Next week, I do a topic Bible study on Holy Spirit. The third week, I give a topic. So what happens is people don't really learn the Bible. They just kind of bounce around, get verses, and fit them together under that topic. I have done that sometimes when I see it fit, but for the most part, I kind of stay away from topical because I would rather read through a book of Titus and get a full understanding of that book. And then we move on and get an Ephesians, and get a full understanding of that. To me, that's a better building block than being topical. A lot of preachers that, man, here I am. I'm being very biased, guys. I personally, as you can tell, I don't really like too much topical stuff. Here's why. It leaves a lot of room for error. It leaves a lot of room for false doctrine. Because you can basically choose a topic and you can almost make the Bible say what you want it to say. Compared to, we're going to read Titus and we're going to read through it. And some verses are very harsh, but I can't skip it. So we're just going to hit this thing right head on. It kind of forces, compared to a topic. A preacher, pastor, evangelist, if he's a topical preacher, he's going to choose topics he really likes. And those kind of churches are more prone to being very fluffy. I'm not saying every time, but a lot of the time. Because what happens is the pastor chooses topics that make him feel good, makes the congregation feel good. And many times there's not much conviction, not much exhortation. Again, opinion. Because I've done some topical sermons myself. Like I said, it's I think that I remember when I first started preaching, I was going through the Bible college, and it actually suggested something that is great. It says, instead of choosing one way to preach, start writing sermons using all three. And once you know how to preach topical and expository and narrative, now mix them around, and it kind of makes you more of a well-rounded teacher, preacher, whatever it is you want to do. Anyways, I don't even know why I went on that rant, but it is a little late, and I did want to make a video about something, a little video about something and not leave you guys with nothing. But honestly, it's, it was a long day, and then getting everything ready for Sunday service, even though we're not going to be there. Please watch that sermon. Pastor Al's going to give a good word. Sunday service in Modesto won't be live because I will be live in Phoenix. So for you guys that watch our sermons, you're not going to miss a beat. It's going to go live just like it does every single Sunday. It's just that it'll be a different location. I'll be in Phoenix. I'm taking my equipment. I have an equipment that lets us basically stream anywhere we go. Unless it was Tahoe. Remember, we had issues. But Tony Paleo and Michelle Paleo say there's no problem with internet. So, but in the Modesto church, it's still going to be recorded just like a live. And then as soon as the service is over in Phoenix and service is over in Modesto, Benjamin's going to upload that straight to YouTube. So you'll be able to, you won't miss Pastor Al. He always has a good word. So I wanted to be fair and not fair if I go live and then he doesn't get his video shared. I want to make sure you guys get to hear that, so. But guys, we covered some good subjects at the Bible study on Titus, really diving deep into it, really talking about a lot of things that maybe make some uncomfortable. But it's got to be talked about. It's just got to be talked about, So I think because of this whole Phoenix thing, I'm still going to dive into looking for those of you that want Bible college courses and find a way where we can do them, maybe not together because everybody has different schedules, but maybe I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options there. There's a special Facebook page. There's a Zoom. I do want to hold meetings for those that are in Modesto to have some classes going there. I don't know. I'm still trying to shape this thing out. And, but I did, we wanted to get better. And then Phoenix, and then Sharon's son is getting married. All of this is happening in the next couple weeks. But once that is over, we want to really hunker down, settle in, and figure out how I do want to call my Bible college also and see some of the options I can do, because basically they said we could be a satellite Bible school, but it has to be local. And here's the problem: a lot of you are not local to me, so I got to talk to them and see what the red tape is there and how we can work around it, and how we can. Because ultimately, the Bible college that I went to, they're the ones giving their certification. They're the ones that are giving degrees, associate's degrees, bachelor degrees, all that. I'm not equipped for that. I'm simply equipped to teach the classes, to give the classes, the syllabus, and go through it. But they're the ones that award the certification for whatever direction you want to go. They have certification for evangelism, certification for pastoral, biblical studies. I mean, just different subjects, guys. That's why I like the Bible college so much. And if you go directly through them, prices are way different than going directly with us. But I'm barred from going anywhere outside my local area. That's the problem. And most of you are not local. So that's why I bring that up. But hopefully something can be compromised. I could talk to them and let them understand how even though you guys are not near, you guys are still part of House of Rest, regardless of where you live. So anyways, guys, another thing today too, I left to grab some fruit at the local Save Mart, and I happened to get to Save Mart as police officers were blocking the street, because today was a funeral procession for the officer, Jimmy, the one I told you the other day that was killed at a domestic violence. He went to a house because he was dispatched there, knocked on the door, and he was greeted with bullets. No ands, ifs, or buts, no questions, no arguments, no nothing. And right when I got to Save Mart, it was right by a main strip here, Pacific Avenue, and that's when it started. There was 55 minutes I filmed on my Facebook. I went live on Facebook. 55 minutes of a procession of officers, not just Stockton PD. I saw probably every single town represented. Officers from San Diego, Los Angeles, Fresno, San Francisco, Oakland, all the Bay Area towns, San Jose, everywhere up and down here, Fresno, Merced, Atwater, Turlock, Modesto, Lodi, Sacramento, everywhere. 55-minute long procession. And it was just sad, man. It was sad. They had, apparently I found out now, if you look up the officer Jimmy out of Stockton that was killed, they actually had their service at there's a big church off of 99. It's a UPC church, United Pentecostal Church, and it's probably the biggest church in town. That's probably why they use that building. And they made their way from there all the way down Pacific, where I happen to be at, and to the burial. And it's just sad. I actually saw the casket go by, in the white hearse. And what was crazy though was the community. So many people. Because obviously the memorial was a private event, and the burial was a private event, but so many people from Stockton came out on Pacific Avenue, which is one of our main streets here, and just stood and waved at the procession as it went by. And that was an amazing show of unity. I think what I noticed was, because all Stockton PD was in the front, and then you started seeing all the other cities. And all those officers from other cities, they had their cameras out filming us, because there was so many people that showed up waving to support this fallen officer. And I think on the officer's end, I think this last year there's been so much hate back and forth. I think it was something they needed to see. Like, dude, we don't all hate you guys, and I think it was a great show of community, for them, for officers, because I think they've been alienated, to realize that we're not all criminals and we're not all against you, and one of yours falls, and all of our hearts go out to them. You know, it can't be an easy job. I mean, it's not a job I would want, honestly. But somebody's got to do it. You know, so man, just, pray for that family. Pray for, I don't know, just so many things happening in this world, just not fair. But this is a fallen world. It's a fallen world, and so many people blame God. And God ain't the one, he's not the one to blame, And that could go into a whole other video of God not being the one to blame, whether it's for hunger, for violence, for death, for tragedies. We always want to blame God. And he's not the one to blame, guys. It's us. It's humanity. So, all right, guys, God bless you guys. I don't want to make a long video. I'm tired too. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Sharon says hi. If you are going to the Phoenix area for the 23rd of this month, May 23rd, for Sunday service, I'm going to put the flyer up. And on the flyer now, I was given permission to put the address and a phone number if you want information. If you're traveling to Phoenix for this service, I'm going to say this one last time. Well, I'll probably say it tomorrow too. We are traveling the 21st on Friday, but we're just meeting with the leaders there, Tony and Michelle Paleo. But Saturday, the 22nd, they are being gracious enough to have a barbecue for anybody that wants to come, especially for those that are traveling from afar. So what I'm doing is, if you message us, I will tell you which hotel I'm sending everybody to. That way everybody can be together. And we're going to have, I think, burgers or something. It's on the flyer also. So if you come and travel from afar, make sure you come on Saturday. Meet with us, fellowship with us. That way we can have service together on Sunday also. So if you're going to stay at the hotel, make sure you book it for Saturday night. That way you can check in and then come and hang out with us in fellowship. So the whole reason being is and I love the fact of Tony and Michelle Paleo doing this, is they know you guys are traveling, many of you are traveling from afar away. And what I don't want is for you just to hear me preach and that's it. We want to get to know you. This is the way House of Rest does it. And I love that, because now that culture is being ingrained in Tony and Michelle Paleo, that it's so much more than just preaching to you. It's fellowship, it's bonding, it's family, So, all right, guys, God bless you. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow with Sharon. So God bless and goodbye.